Once I showed some of my friends my work, they're like, that is your thing. You gotta do this. You found your groove in what you're doing. My highest mark ever was 98 in art, and I only lost 2% because it was late. You can't rush art. It just happens when it happens. Hello, Elora Fergus area. My name is Julia Sanders, and I'm an artist.
When I was in high school, I did a mural at the Fergus market that I was commissioned to do. Someone's office now. But deep down behind in there, one day someone might see a little scraping and peel away at it and see a painting under there. It was of Templin Gardens, the arch, and the door was open and it had all the sumacs and stuff behind it. I just thought it was neat with the light and the rocks, and there's a lot of different colors in there. It was fun. To this day, it's still the biggest painting I've ever done.
I basically do a lot of watercolor. I have done stippling projects. They take a long time, but they are a lot of fun because I have the patience to add all those thousands of little dots in to add shadows. I've done a couple of acrylics, and soft pastels are very fun to work with. They add more texture for fur. So I pick them up to add the fur detail and highlights and shadows in painting wild animals. I found I could get more of a defined straight line than I could with watercolor. So watercolor I mostly use for buildings and landscapes, and then I add in the fine details with the pencils after. So a couple friends and I from work decided we were going to take a little road trip into Elora and see the hometown and area that I grew up in. So we went down, walked the main street of Elora, and I pointed out little buildings, little shops, how things have changed. But the biggest change was the construction and renovation of the buildings on Main Street with the granary and the mill. And for some reason, I just stopped, took a moment, because I thought, that's really interesting. They were across the street and they were looking in the window of the granary building. And I just thought, wouldn't that be a really neat painting?
Probably took 30 hours total. Because I'd work on it after work. I'd do one window, or I'd do a little bit of shading, or I'd work on just the green, and then on weekends I'd get a nice big. I could work on all the front, or I'd do all the detail work, or I did all the pencil, and then afterwards I'd go back and do the fine details in pen that I wanted to stand out stronger.
Houses are probably my favorite things to do. I really like painting limestone and the old buildings and the interest in wooden doors and the architecture behind it. I really enjoy painting houses. They are non-judgmental. They don't say, oh, my nose is too big. Plus houses have character to them and they've got history to them. Because even today I learned the paintings that I've done have already changed. So I've already painted something of history that's not gonna be like that again. So the Tooth of Time project was quite fun to do. I got sent some personal photos to work from. They're taken from drone footage, so you could actually get the dead-on angle of the Tooth of Time to look like a heart. So we thought, oh, what a great idea, let's make it for a Valentine's Day card, because it does kind of look like a heart. So I thought, oh, this is gonna be an easy project, we'll just whip this up in a couple days, and I get into it, and then the rapids almost put me through a breakdown. I hope they look at it and think, hey, that is really cool. That is the Tooth of Time, and I like how this person interpreted it a bit brighter and really portrayed the water well. Those look like rapids. That would be the biggest compliment to me, that someone appreciates the effort that went into those rapids.